What's up, everybody? It's the Mob Rats 1 here with you. Want to give you some true facts here about the crayon eating Jimmy Calandra. He's nothing but a liar. I mean, the truth is what it is. Oh, he didn't even really put Sparrow away. He corroborated what Mikey the Flat Top De La Rose is the one that actually put him away. All all the crayon eater did was sit there, eat his crayons, and yeah, I saw it. I or yeah, Paulie G told me about it. I mean, he has nothing else. It was either he sold some drugs, he tried to rob a bank at one point, but every bit of that's unsuccessful. He didn't even know Sparrow. Sparrow didn't even know him until he started running his mouth. And then, that's another thing too. He's in jail. This Paulie G guy, he gets clipped for supposedly pushing Sparrow. Well, then he gets clipped. Jimmy calls back. I mean, it's all documented. He can't deny any of it. He calls his friends. He's boo-hooing. Who did it? Who did it? Like, they could really understand him over the phone with all the crayons in his mouth. He's a glue sniffing retard. But anyway, he does it. Then he starts making threats. He's going to kill Sparrow. He's telling everybody he's going to kill Sparrow. Well, rest in peace, Mr. Sparrow. Anyway, he gets wind of this, that he's in jail, prison, running his mouth, saying he's going to kill him when he gets out. So what's Sparrow do? Puts the contract out on the little gimp. And what's the little gimp do? Runs to the feds. That's what he did. He didn't have really anything to offer them other than what he was told by his friend Paulie G. I mean, that was it. Paulie G is the one that was doing the mob stuff, living the mob life. He's the one that wanted to be the gangster. All Jimmy was a follower. He, you know, he's a follower, giving back rubs. You know, he had nothing to give the feds other than what he had was told, and that's what he did. And why in the world they'd ever give him a deal like they did, but they did. It's sickening. It's pure sickening. Then he comes out here and he gives these lying ass stories that ain't even his. They're all everybody else's but his. He's another A-light. They tell these stories, but they're not their stories. Yeah, they might be true, but they're not about them. They're all about somebody else. But I don't know, people. I think you, you got to watch these guys. They lie. That's all they do is lie. And everybody is just hitting them with their own words, hitting them with the truth, and they don't like it. So they resort to threatening people. They're going to smack someone. They're they're going to try to get the feds to chase them down for them. They're not going to do nothing. Nothing. Sit there, be the little gimp bitches that they are, knowing that they're rats and they're going to be a rat the rest of their losing life, and there's no way to change it. And they have to live with that. So they try to, divert it. But that's what we push back's all about, giving you the facts about them, letting you see the whole story, not just part of the story, like what they want you to hear. We push back, gives the whole story, all the information. Then you can judge it from that. And that's what I do on this group of mine, on Mob Rats 1. I give you the whole story, and they're facts. They're not made up. They're not, you know, every bit of whatever I give you, you can get offline, YouTube, WikiLeaks, Gangland News, all that. You can get every bit of the facts off of the right online. But it's just baffling, with this Jimmy Calandra that he makes these threats to people. He lies to people. He's got all these people following him, and I don't get it. I don't see. Are they interested in the Pauly G stories? I mean, that's who the stories are about. Pauly G, not Jimmy. Pauly D. I mean, that's the guy that was going to be the gangster. People like Jimmy, they're called coattail gangsters. Grab a hold of the coattail and ride, and hope that, they'll take me in. I'm with him. Freaking clown. It's a, it's baffling. You got A-Light running around, running his chops, and the whole thing with him, it's all about the Gaudis. The Gaudis. Without the Gaudis, John A-Light would not exist. I don't, that's just it. He has to say that name. And I got to be honest, I kind of think that he might be in love with John Jr. I'm kind of getting that feeling. I mean, as much as he talks about it, I think that he wants to become a Gotti, which, that's just truly embarrassing the Gotti family if that ever was to happen. But, and he talks about John Jr. Oh, he's a rat. He's a rat. No, he's not a rat. Oh, but he did a 302. Okay. What was in the 302? I have the 302 up on my Instagram, or I did have at one point. And on that 302, it was just as he claimed all along. It was unuseful information, stuff that was actually, some of the stuff didn't even make sense. But it goes to show you that he was fishing, trying to figure them out, find out what they had. And just from what you can read of the 302, I mean, the 302 actually looked like maybe Jimmy sat down with his crayons and tried to draw, but it was a joke. And he leaves. They didn't have no information. Even then, he still fights it. He beats it, even with their star witness there with John A. Liar and Mikey Scars. All these people testifying against him, and the jury does not believe them because they're liars. The truth comes out in the court. Gotti Jr.'s attorney actually was able to make these guys bring out the truth about them, and the jury saw what they were, lying rats, and they didn't believe them. But here's the thing, he's not a rat. John Jr. is not a rat. I know this for a fact. I've even heard this from Gambino family members that he is in good standings with the family and with the other families. Now, John Alite? No. Why? He's a rat. That's why. Trust me, if he would have been a rat, I'd be the first person. His name would have been up on my group. I would have planted him up there just like I did with the rest of the rats with all the information. But he's not. He's not a rat. And Alite's got a, he just can't face it. It just kills him. And it kills him that he went and talked, ratted on all these people, and the government thinking they have their star witness. He's going to put all these people away. When in fact, all he did was he told on a bunch of people. He couldn't testify against them because they didn't believe him. Nobody believed him. They found that out during John Jr.'s trial that Alite was a liar, so the government never used him again. But they were stuck with him. He's a rat that ain't able to be used. They thought they had something, but they didn't. And that's another thing, too. If he was this big star witness Feds had, and he knew John Sr., and he did this and he did that for John Sr., why didn't the government use him for a witness during that trial against John Sr.? I mean, the dude's been ratting since, what was it, 1989? He was a confidential informant. But he don't want to talk about that. He don't want none of that to come out. He tries to hide that, but you can't. That's the thing about the internet. It all comes out in the wash. It wasn't that everybody turned on him. It was him turning on everybody else. Let's face it. the mob would have killed him. They'd have done away with him. Who is he? Nobody. He's a nobody. Wouldn't you think that they would have handled that, even though he's in a different country, which they've been known to go to different countries and handle business? They would have did the same with him. So it's pretty clear that he's the one that ratted. He's the one that wanted to cut a deal because he knew if he got brought back to the States, he had probably got the electric chair, especially if they was going after him for all of his lies. I mean, oh my God, the guy is such a liar. It's pathetic. He beats women, knocks teeth out of them, but he's supposed to be a tough guy. He's just, it's sad. It's sad that people get like that. It's pathetic and sickening, actually. That I don't know. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I wouldn't. The shame that these guys have brought upon their families because they couldn't do the time. I mean, that was what it come down to. They could not do the time. I think they probably got tired of having to wash everybody else's drawers. And from what I've seen of Jimmy and John Alite and Jimmy Calandra, I know, I know they had to have been pimped out in jail. Had to have been. You can just tell by the way they act, by the way they talk. They have no shame. They're not embarrassed that they're rats and liars. So you can pretty well tell that. They enjoyed it. So they're not getting what they got inside. So they come out here wanting that and they don't get it. So they just run their traps and tell lies. Hope people that'll pay attention to them and listen to them buy their freaking crap that they're trying to sell. Like Calandra selling clothes. I mean, come on. But it's for kids. You want to help the kids? Take them clothes and give them to the Salvation Army. I mean, come on. Let's if you're going to help people, you want to do the right thing. Well, do the right thing. Take the clothes, give them to the Salvation Army. Give them to the street bums. People out on the streets, they need clothes. And then, Alite, supposed to be this big time murderer, tough guy, selling baseball bats and butcher knives. I mean, come on. That's just ridiculous. It's almost a joke. And I can't believe this clown goes all over the country. Well, the Gaudis this, the Gaudis that. Oh, they made me do it. They were all ratting on me. I ratted back. It was him. It wasn't anybody else. It was him. And he told on over, I think it was 200 people he had ratted on, told the feds about these people and that what they were doing. But in that list that he told in his 302, John Sr. ain't in it. Sammy the Bull ain't in it. Why is that? He was supposed to be the big time hitman, bodyguard, Gambino enforcer. Why wouldn't the hierarchy be in that? They're not. John Jr., yeah, because, John had him hang around for about a month or two, and then he chased him out because he knew what a thief and liar he was. So he had maybe 2 months he got to hang around John Jr. And I don't even think it was that long, but I'm going to give him 2 months. 2 months. And he became the big time Gambino enforcer and killer. And he killed and shot, I don't know, one time, I think it was 20, 30, 40 people, baseball batted, beat up, 50, shot, knifed, blah, blah, blah. Well, in his testimony, and when he allocated, it was one killing. That was it. I mean, you can look that up. It's there. I don't know how he gets 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 people that he killed, but when he went before the judge to tell his story, it was one person. It just goes to show you how these guys lie. They're fraud, is all they are. They scam people out of money. People work hard for their money and try to do the right thing, and then they come on here, then they try to sell their bullshit, their clothes. Oh, I wore this. I'm selling it. Come on. What a jerk off. Or be someone like, Eli. Oh, I sell butcher knives, baseball bats. But it's for the kids. Well, if it's for the kids, give them baseball bats for the summer for baseball. How come you don't show yourself out in the public doing things for the kids with the kids? Because you don't. He might make a couple donations. That's it. He's done. That's where he gets his big kids thing. It's for the kids. Makes a couple donations, but he does it for the kids. It's all about the money for these guys. They get online here on YouTube. They basically tell lies, sell junk, and try to scam people out of their living so they can make a living. I mean, give it a month or two, and A-Light probably will be at one time ran the Gambino family, and listen to Jimmy. And before it's over with, the year's up, he'd probably be the boss of Banana Family. I mean, that's just how the lies go. There's never ending. They just keep making them up, making them up. They'll tell you all the stories of everybody else, but they'll include themselves. And then you look all this stuff up and you find out, oh, that wasn't them. That was someone else. I don't know, people. Just keep an eye out on these people. You gotta watch. Don't let them. Don't let them scam you. Even the content creators. Don't do that. Let them beg if they want to beg. Screw them. Till the next one.